A dimly lit factory floor hums quietly in North Carolina. Del Glover, a factory worker, scrolls through thousands of albums on his screen, albums no one outside this plant is supposed to have. For years, he's secretly leaking music, feeding a massive underground hunger. But how did we get to a place where every song ever recorded could be stolen, shared, and heard by millions for free? This is the story of obsession, invention, and a war over the soul of music itself. Let's rewind to Germany, the birthplace of an invention that changed music forever. A small team with a giant idea, ready to break sound and reshape culture. Karl-Heinz Brandenburg and his team in the early 90s painstakingly developed the MP3 format at Germany's Fraunhofer Institute. By slicing audio files without killing the music's soul, they engineered something that fit entire albums on tiny discs and sent songs flying through phone lines. An innovation no one saw coming would unleash a tidal wave. Imagine stuffing a huge suitcase into a carry-on bag without losing anything. That's what the MP3 did with sound waves. It took bulky, raw music files and compressed them, keeping the essence but cutting down size by about 90%. Suddenly, music wasn't trapped by CDs or tapes, it was ready to surf digital highways. But this freedom came at a price. Once music was digital, it became fragile against control, easy to copy, easy to steal. The big labels feared a flood of piracy and chaos, but the genie was already out. Digital music was about to slip out of their hands and into millions of pockets worldwide. Now meet Del Glover, a quiet guy with a massive impact. In a factory humming with discs, Del slips thousands of albums into the digital underground. How does one man fuel a global disruption? Del Glover, working at the compact disc manufacturing plant in North Carolina, had access few others did. Over a decade, he copied and leaked nearly 2,000 albums, from Beyoncé to Radiohead, sending the music into pirate networks. His job was repetitive, his crime was massive, and the industry had no clue who was bleeding them dry. Think of a dripping faucet unnoticed for months. Eventually, it floods the basement. Del was that drip. One man's unauthorized sharing exploded into an ocean of free music online, creating a fire that no firewall could contain. This wasn't just theft, it was a tsunami rewriting music's future. Despite mounting piracy and crumbling sales, music executives stayed entrenched in old models. They hunted down Napster and others, but the leak was deeper, rooted in human behavior and technological flaws they underestimated. Their failure to adapt opened the floodgates wide. Piracy wasn't just a glitch, it became the norm. Meanwhile, in Manhattan skyscrapers, Doug Morris plays the corporate game, bending rap and pop to his empire's will, while digital thieves write new rules beneath his feet. Doug Morris, legendary CEO of Universal Music Group, rose to dominance by turning rap into a worldwide goldmine. From plush offices, he controlled multi-billion-dollar deals, but his grip slipped as digital downloads and piracy exploded. In his corner office, executives battled an invisible enemy, millions forging their own playlists behind firewalls. Picture a castle surrounded by an ever-growing moat. Morris's empire was the castle, strong walls guarded by contracts and laws. The digital pirates were the water rising, creeping over the walls, inaccessible to swords or armies. No boardroom strategies or lawsuits could hold back the flood of free music sharing sweeping the globe. Piracy forced the industry to rethink everything. Album sales crashed, streaming arose, and listeners became their own DJs. Music stopped being a product and became a service, forever changed. The old guard lost control, but listeners gained unprecedented freedom, transforming how and when we experience sound. Back on that factory floor, Del Glover's secret leak wasn't just a crime, it was a spark lighting a digital wildfire. Every song you stream or download today is a descendant of rebellions, inventions, and failures to control. So next time you hit play, remember, the fight over music's soul is ongoing. Try this, explore how technology shapes what you love, and think about what freedom really costs. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.